She had a voice that could break your heart and heal it in the same song.
You said, what did you do with him today?
Amy Winehouse became a global star, but behind the fame was a life falling apart. This is the real story of how talent, love, and addiction led to one of music's saddest endings. Amy wasn't just another singer. She was a once-in-a-generation artist who lived and wrote with brutal honesty. But fame came fast, the pressure was heavy, and the people around her didn't always help. Today, we'll look at what really happened to Amy Winehouse, the rise, the fall, and the world that watched it happen.
I go back to...
Amy Jade Winehouse was born in 1983 in Camden, London, into a Jewish family that loved music. Her father was a taxi driver who often sang Frank Sinatra songs, and her mother was a pharmacist. Amy grew up surrounded by jazz and soul records, quickly becoming interested in singers like Billie Holiday, Sarah Vaughan, and Dinah Washington. These artists shaped her unique voice and emotional style, which stood out even when she was a teenager. She attended the Sylvia Young Theatre School but was expelled for poor behavior and attitude. Despite that, Amy kept writing songs and performing whenever she could. Her natural talent caught the attention of local producers, and at just 18 years old, she signed with Island Records. This early stage of her life showed exactly who she was: talented, bold, and unwilling to follow rules. Amy released her first album, Frank, in 2003. The album mixed jazz, soul, and R&B, showing her deep musical roots and powerful voice. Songs like Stronger Than Me and You Sent Me Flying revealed her bold attitude and honest storytelling. Critics from outlets like Enemy and Pitchfork praised her fresh sound and emotional lyrics, calling her one of the most promising new artists in the UK. The album was nominated for Mercury Prize and earned her a strong following. Even with this early success, Amy stayed close to her home in Camden and avoided a glamorous lifestyle. She continued to perform in small venues and write about her personal experiences. Frank gave her the confidence and platform to explore deeper emotions in her next projects, setting the stage for her worldwide breakthrough with Back to Black. In 2006, Amy released her second album, Back to Black, working with producers Mark Ronson and Salam Remy. Together, they created a sound inspired by 1960s soul and girl groups, but with a modern edge. The album's lyrics came directly from Amy's personal life, especially her breakup with Blake Fielder Civil. Songs like Rehab, You Know I'm No Good, and Back to Black showed her raw emotions and honesty about addiction, heartbreak, and self-destruction. Back to Black became a global success, reaching #1 in the UK and topping charts worldwide. It sold millions of copies and earned Amy 5 Grammy Awards in 2008, including Record of the Year and Best New Artist. Critics praised her for bringing old-school soul back into modern music, while fans connected deeply with her real-life pain and powerful storytelling. Amy met Blake Fielder Civil in 2005, and their relationship quickly became intense and unstable. They often broke up and got back together, and their fights were well known in the media. Blake later admitted in interviews that he introduced Amy to hard drugs, which deeply affected her health and behavior. Their connection was full of passion, but also pain. It started to take over both their personal and professional lives. The couple married in 2007, but soon faced legal troubles and public scandals. Blake's arrests and their substance abuse drew constant attention from tabloids. Photos of their fights and bruises filled newspapers, turning Amy's private struggles into public drama. Their relationship played a major role in her downfall, as emotional stress and addiction began to consume her career, her confidence, and eventually her well-being. By 2007, Amy's life was heavily affected by drug use and alcohol. Her performances became unpredictable, with several shows canceled because she was too unwell to sing. When she did appear on stage, she was often seen stumbling or slurring her words. Paparazzi followed her everywhere, capturing photos of her in poor condition, which the tabloids used to mock her instead of showing concern. Her song Rehab reflected her real struggle, as she repeatedly refused treatment and insisted she could manage on her own. Despite attempts from family and friends, Amy's addiction only got worse. She entered and left rehab multiple times, never staying long enough to recover. Her health began to fail, leading to hospital visits for overdoses and infections. Each relapse drew more media attention, trapping her in a painful cycle that seemed impossible to escape. As Amy's addiction worsened, the media turned her life into a spectacle. Paparazzi followed her every move, often surrounding her outside her home or while she walked through Camden. Tabloids published daily stories about her behavior, mocking her appearance and health. Photos of her stumbling or crying were sold for huge profits. Instead of protecting her, the media used her struggles to sell headlines in magazines. Her pain became public entertainment. Even during her attempts to recover, Amy had little privacy. Journalists waited outside rehab centers and reported on every setback. The constant attention made her intoxicated to sing properly, yet the concerts went ahead to avoid financial losses. Reports from The Guardian and Variety suggested that her well-being was often secondary to profit and reputation. Few people around her pushed for a full break or long-term medical care. After her death, both fans and journalists questioned whether more could have been done. Critics argued that the label and management failed to protect one of their most talented but vulnerable artists. Instead of receiving proper medical health support, Amy was treated like a product to maintain. The lack of care from the system showed how fame can destroy fragile artists. Between 2009 and 2011, Amy tried several times to turn her life around. She moved back to Camden, hoping that being close to her family would help her recover. During this period, she had moments of sobriety and seemed focused on improving her health. She also started writing new music and talked about future projects, including recording a follow-up to Back to Black. Friends said she looked healthier and more determined, but the pressure to make a comeback remained strong. In 2011, Amy returned to the stage for a European tour, but things quickly went wrong. Her performance in Belgrade became infamous after she appeared confused and slurred her words, unable to sing properly. The concert was canceled, and the rest of the tour was dropped. These moments showed that despite her efforts, Amy was still deeply struggling and exhausted. On July 23, 2011, Amy Winehouse was found dead in her home in Camden, North London. She was only 27 years old. The police reported no signs of foul play, and her death shocked fans around the world. A few months later, a coroner confirmed that Amy had died from accidental alcohol poisoning. Her blood alcohol level was more than 5 times the legal driving limit, enough to stop her body from functioning properly. The coroner described the case as death by misadventure, meaning it was an accident, not a suicide. Friends and family said Amy had been sober for a short time before drinking again that week. Her body, weakened by past addiction, could not handle the sudden amount of alcohol. Her death marked the end of a life filled with rare talent, deep pain, and years of public struggle. After Amy Winehouse's death, millions of fans around the world mourned her loss. Her albums, especially Back to Black, rose to the top of the charts again, and her songs were played everywhere in tribute. Many artists, including Adele, Tony Bennett, and Lady Gaga, shared emotional messages about how Amy had inspired them. In Camden, a life-size bronze statue of her was unveiled in 2014, becoming a place where fans still leave flowers and letters. In 2015, the documentary Amy revealed unseen footage and interviews, showing her struggles with addiction and pressure from fame. It gave people a deeper look into her life beyond the headlines. Today, Amy is remembered as one of the most powerful voices of her generation. Her story continues to remind the world how fame, pressure, and addiction can destroy even the brightest talent. Amy Winehouse's story is more than tragedy. It's a warning about the price of fame and the silence around pain. If her story moved you, share this video to keep her legacy alive, and don't forget to subscribe. Adios.